Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly in a personal story segment tonight. One of the most offensive TV advertisements we have ever seen. It comes from the Hardees burger people and takes place in a high school classroom.
The world was not round.
Just the buns.
But flat.
That is flat.
Okay, class.
Well, I like 'em really hot, I like 'em really flat, I like 'em looking just like a pancake stack. What about behind me? Got no hiney? I call you your highness. In anatomy class, you got a butt minus. Flatter makes a better rear. Stand sideways, girl, you disappear. Flat buns, I like flat buns. I like the flat ones.
The Pattymelt on flat buns, only at Hardees.
Unbelievable. Well, the outcry over that has been fierce, and today Hardees pulled the ad, but the damage to the company has been done. Joining us now from Washington, Tracy Bailey, spokesman for the Association of American Educators, and from Atlanta, Laura Reese, author of the book The Fall of Advertising and the Rise of PR. Now, Ms. Reese, this same company did a Paris Hilton ad where she was, and we'll show people a little bit of it. It's offensive too, but not on the order of this. They're never going to learn, Hardees. I mean, they must have the biggest morons in the world working in that company, and that includes the CEO, because he's got to approve these ads. Am I wrong?
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, advertising is tough today, especially to young men. I mean, there's so much advertising out there. They've got to break through the clutter. And one way they're trying to do this is to get their attention. And what gets young boys' attention better than sex? But the problem is it's not really selling anything. It's getting word of mouth, talking about the ads, but they're not talking about the burgers. And this is an excellent example of that.
Here's how it differs. It's 18 to 34 men, which is their target. That's who they want to buy their burgers. And by the way, Carl's Jr., which is the West Coast chain, is owned by Hardees. It's the same thing. But you're taking a classroom situation where we've had a spate of molestation situations, criminal activities between teachers and students. I mean, this has been going on for 5 or 6 years. And then you're putting it before the American public by making a lascivious video out of it. And a 7-year-old child would say, not only is this bad taste for my burger, bad pun, but true, but it's totally inappropriate in every way, shape, or form. And they don't know that?
Well, they do. They know it's tasteless. What they want to do is create controversy. They want people to talk about their advertising.
Then why did they pull the ad? Then why did they pull it?
Well, because it got too hot. I mean, they realized, and the teacher wasn't necessary in that ad. They could put any hot girl in any situation with that ridiculous song.
It doesn't have to be in a classroom.
So I think they pulled it out. Everyone is trying to cross the line, and everyone's gone way too far in terms of this sexual behavior.
Well, this makes me not want to buy their burgers. And
well, you're not the market. You're not the market.
Well, that's right. I mean, you're right. But if all they want to do is sell to
well, they've got a great thing to talk about. They
then put a sign up. We don't want smart Americans. We don't want women. We just want men 18 to 34. That's all we want.
Well, they should be talking about that $1,400
we Hardees aren't going to sell you the burger if you come in. All we want to do is sell 18 to 34 men. Now, Mr. Bailey, this is in your purview. There has been an enormous change, I understand. I haven't been in a classroom for more than 30 years. I did teach high school when I was much younger. But there's been an enormous change in the attitudes of students toward teachers, and this can only hurt that, correct?
Absolutely. It just fuels the fire. It's completely irresponsible to throw these kinds of examples on the airwaves when young men are irresponsible enough and simply to fuel the fire with this kind of advertising. You know, one of the big changes is we've seen the damage of the Paris Hilton, Britney Spears kind of pop culture in sexualizing young women to the point where some high schools, I hate to say it, but they have become meat markets, that young ladies and young men feel that this is appropriate behavior. Okay,
but it's always been that way in high school. I mean, hormones rage. And, you know, we had the 50s and the High School Confidential movie and all of that. Right. But the actual language of students, how they talk to the teachers, the obscenities. I get letters from teachers. Kids say F you to them. Nothing happens to the kids.
Right.
The kids make all kinds of remarks, not only to each other, but to the teacher, and the principals are hiding under their desks. I mean, is it a total breakdown in America? Try to put it into some kind of perspective for us.
It's close to that, because these kinds of rude and crude comments, parents would be appalled to know what teachers are subjected to, especially young female teachers who have to try to recover, try to continue teaching, try not to react the way that their gut tells them to, and continue on.
Well, any kid who does any disrespect to a male or female teacher should be suspended immediately. Right. That's it. You're suspended. You can't do that. The teacher has to have control. But when you saw this ad, one more, Mr. Bailey, what went through your mind real fast when you saw it?
Just completely irresponsible, completely unnecessary. There's no way that this is a responsible corporate citizen trying to help students or help American culture. It's crazy.
It is. That's a very well put. I mean, they're not helping the country at all. There's no excuse for this. Right. And it's Hardees and Carl's Jr. So there's plenty of competition, ladies and gentlemen, for those burgers. Think about it.
That's right.
Ms. Reese, Mr. Bailey, thank you very much. Directly